There appears to be a fairly large market for video game console knockoffs.
These consoles, especially prevalent in countries such as China, where piracy and lack of distribution centers have led companies to try to make a quick buck. So here they are, the top 10 worst knockoff game consoles around.
This is the top 10 worst knockoff consoles. Number 10. Generation NEX.
The Generation NEX console is a failed attempt to clone Nintendo's classic NES system. Gamers are supposed to be able to plug their Famicom and NES carts directly into the thing and play happily, but unfortunately the console just doesn't appear to faithfully render games. With so many reports of nasty controller functions and abundant graphical and sound glitches, the Generation NEX failed to impress.
Number 9. Game Theory Admiral.
Unlike Nintendo's own Game Boy, the Game Theory Admiral plays actual Famicom cartridges. The Chinese-based publisher Mystery sells Admiral online on many websites. The system is modeled after the Game Boy Advance and makes use of an adapter to play Famicom games. Through the use of composite cables, you can even play Admiral on a television, acting as a home system and carry-around. The battery life, color, and sound are all improved from the GameX, making it an ideal illegal Nintendo handheld. The problem was that the Famicom adapter would only allow you to play Famicom games, so Nintendo cards in other regions were pretty much useless.
Number 8. GB Station Lite.
As you probably guessed it, the GB Station Lite is a total rip-off of the much more famous SP2 handheld. It's apparently another version of those one-station devices, cheap handhelds with crappy cartridges packed full with pirated 8 and 16-bit games. The big difference is that the GB Station Lite has a rechargeable battery and comes with 111 built-in games. So you're basically getting a handheld with 439 games with free worldwide shipping. Not too bad when you think about it, although I'm pretty sure at least 100 of those games were double listed.
Number 7. E-Time D22.
The E-Time D22 Plus, or Genesis device, is a handheld video game player that emulates the 16-bit Sega Genesis games and lets you play them on your TV. The Genesis device is similar to other devices in the market which contain a set of games for a particular gaming system, such as the Atari Flashback. What sets the Genesis device apart from the rest of the mainstream is the fact that it has an SD card slot and is a full-blown emulator and firmware. The Genesis device seems to take just about everything you can throw at it, but is not 100% success rate. Some games refuse to run at all, either due to a bad fault or error with the games themselves.
Number 6. Power Play Super Joy 3.
Manufactured in China and modeled after the N64 controller, this device plugs directly into your TV. A second player can join the copyright infringing fun by hooking up a Sega Genesis looking controller, and for some games a light gun is also included. Some models even have a slot for Japanese Famicom cartridges. The Super Joy 3 sold in Brazil, Europe, Asia, and until recently North America. Though it isn't very likely that this will be staring back at you from a window in a shopping mall, it's still common to find in bargain bins.
Number 5. Pop Station.
The Pop Station is a Chinese manufactured rip-off of the PSP. Its packaging imitates the PSP's packaging, and the buttons are also the same. The box even says Color Display. It has horrible gameplay, graphics, and sounds, mostly consisting of electronic high-pitched beeps.
Number 4. Neo Double Games.
Here we have another Chinese product. The Neo Double Games is a blatant knockoff of Nintendo's DS. Instead of using two digital screens for one game, it has two completely different screens altogether that actually come off of the product. The funniest part is the second screen's actually fake and made to look like a DS. On the side note, some of the buttons don't work either because they were also used to make it look like a DS, or the people who made them didn't get time to function it properly. A more horrible version was also made by consoles manufacturer including the Lite version, which instead takes the appearance from Nintendo DS Lite and the atrocious Neo Quad games.
Number 3. Polystation.
The Chinese take on the PlayStation, the Polystation, and similar consoles are sold under many different names. Some of these consoles resemble the original PlayStation and others the PlayStation 2. Some variations include built-in pirated games, and in many cases these games are hacked. The The number of games built in is also usually greatly exaggerated, claiming numbers in hundreds or thousands when in reality the same games are listed multiple times with slight variations.
Number 2. PX3600.
The PX3600 could quite possibly be the worst Xbox PlayStation hybrid knockoff console ever. Made by Hong Kong's Cheer Tech Industries, this machine has a fake disc tray, meaning that all the games are built into it. It also includes visual elements from several modern consoles, tweaking them just enough to keep them from safe copyright infringements. It will play a handful of built-in games and comes with 2 controllers, but only one has a rumble feature.
Number 1. Nintendo V.
In some countries, console piracy is widely acceptable because of costs. The original hardware is considered too expensive for the average consumer, and thus a cheaper version is much more profitable. Enter the V, China's answer to the Wii. Clocking in at around $180, the V is cheaper than the Wii, and unlike other items on this list, the V isn't a simple redesign to play NES games. The company behind the V, Kin Sing Ton, has managed to spread the V throughout Europe, where it's advertised in shops as an alternative to the Wii. The V has become so popular that it's even being sold in Japan for about $80, substantially cheaper than the retail price of the system is based off. It is incredibly lightweight, and on top of that, the motion controls, while functional, barely work. Though a few of the included games work well with their simple motions, others require a great amount of aggression and violence to register. The V doesn't actually play Wii games, instead it comes with a tiny cartridge of 12 16-bit games. The 12-in-1 Sport V cart has some simple Wii Sport rip-offs that are played with a rabbit and his rodent friend.